Hey everyone, hope you're doing well out there. Today's lesson is lesson 6. It's about constructing functions. They're going to give you pieces of information about a relationship, and then they're going to ask us to find maybe some function characteristics. They might ask us to find a rate of change. They might ask us to find an original value or a y-intercept. And so I wanted to show you all, I don't want to go through all of the examples, but I just wanted to show you some of what we're going to be doing today in class since you all won't be able to be here with us. Up here at the top it says the initial value of the function is the corresponding y value when x is 0. This is also called the y-intercept, right? The initial value, where it starts, right? When I have done 0 hours of work, how much have I been paid? When I have had 0 time go by, how tall is the plant that I'm trying to grow? Something like that. So it's going to ask us for an initial value or a y-intercept, and you'll be able to see that with graphs, you'll be able to see it with tables, we'll be able to see it just with words, and we're going to try to work out some of these to see if we can find the initial value. Let's actually go here onto the independent practice page. You don't need your book, you can just follow along with mine because I know a lot of you have it at school and you obviously can't get to it. This is going to be maybe a little bit of a good introduction here to it. It says, a teacher read part of a book to class. The graph shows the number of pages read by the teacher over the next several days. Find and interpret the rate of change, that's the slope, and the initial value. So these questions today are going to be very similar. They're going to ask you for these things, either the rate of change is the slope. That's going to be pretty easy to see. The rate of change is going to be the pattern that you notice, right? Like look at the number of days here. 3 days, 450. After 4 days, we had 550 pages read. After 5 days, we had 650 pages. After 6 days, 750. And then after 8 days, we had read 850. So you can see the days are going up by 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for every 1 day, you have a page increase of 450, 550, 650, 750, 850. You see how these are counting by 100? 450, 550, 650, 750, 850. You're getting 100 pages every day, right? 100 pages per day. That is the rate of change. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm just gonna let it go. Rate of change, 100 pages per day. That is the slope. Okay, and then the initial value is where does this line start? What about day 0? Right? We have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the graph, but what about day 0? Could I count backwards, right? We're going by 100 every time, aren't we? 850, 750, 650, 550, 450. We could count backwards. Day 3 was 450. So if I just count backwards, day 2 would be 350. Day 1, counting back even further, would be 250. And that means day 0 would be 150. See how that makes a perfect line right there? And so all I did is I just continued the pattern. I went from 850, 750, 650, 450, 350, 250, 150, and that got me all the way back to day 0. And so the initial value is 150. Okay. What about if it is an equation? We're going to do the same thing. A water park charges a rental fee plus $1.50 per hour to rent an inflatable raft. The total cost to rent a raft for 6 hours is $15. So your cost is the fee plus $1.50 each hour. And it says this person has it for 6 hours and they paid $15. So they paid $15 overall and they did 6 hours. So $1.50 for each hour times 6. So we're going to have this rental fee that we don't understand what it is right now. We'll have the rental fee plus $1.50 times 6 hours. So this would be a good chance to use your calculator. $1.50 times 6 hours. You could type that in a calculator. You should get 9. So that's $9. And then what do we need to add to that for the rental fee to make it equal 15? So we've got 9 plus something equals 15, and that is 6, right? 9 plus 6 equals 15. And so the rate of change and the initial value, so let me go ahead and put that in there. The rate of change is going to be the $1.50 each hour that they told us. Equals, that's the rate of change. Whoops. And then the $6 that I found is the initial fee, the rental fee, right? Okay, one more of these and then we'll stop because I know this is going to get kind of lengthy. What about if it's a table? All right, see how this goes. Melissa frosted some cupcakes in the morning for a party. The table shows the number of cupcakes frosted as she starts up after lunch. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. The rate of change is what we're counting by here, right? We're adding 4 cupcakes, right? And this is every, what are the minutes counting by? The minutes are counting by 5. See that? 5, 10, 15, 20. So she can do 4 cupcakes every 5 minutes. Sorry, these bells are all over the place. And so her rate is 4/5. 4 cupcakes every 5 minutes. Or you could make that into a decimal if you wanted to. You can make that 0.8 because 4/5 is 0.8 cupcakes each minute. And then how do you find the initial value? You just keep this, make your chart go backwards, right? 20, 15, 10, 5. We need to make it equal 0. So if we go back 5 more, that'll get us to 0. So we need to go, these are counting by 4, so just count back by 4. 28 minus 4 would be 24. So the initial value is 24. So that means she had 24 cupcakes when she started, right? When she did some in the morning. And then she did the rest after lunch. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. That should kind of give you a clue on how to do it if it's a graph. Just find the pattern and then count backwards until you hit 0. If it's a chart, find the pattern and then count backwards until you get 0. Right here you would have to go 12, 9, 6, 3, 0, and you would just keep counting back like that. And if it's an equation, it's a little bit tougher, but hopefully you can figure it out. I'll put some stuff on the McGraw-Hill site and be looking for that in a little bit. Good luck, guys.